Hello guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Hit the bell icon button so that you don't miss out any tutorial.
In this lesson, we're going to be working with heading tags, and we're going to learn about the different types of heading tags that are present in HTML. So first, let's get rid of all of this in this body tag, and let's have a clean body tag over here. So in this body tag, I'm going to create some heading tags. So we have 6 heading tags in total in HTML, which is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. And mostly programmers use only H1, H2, H3, and H4. However, they do not use H5 and H6, but H5 and H6 are very important for Google bots if you want high SEO results for your website. So let's first create an H1 tag, and inside this H1 tag let's write my website. Now if we save this, open up our index.html file, you can see that we have an H1 tag, and it's bold and it's also much larger in font size. So this is by default that Chrome provides us with. So now if we use an H2 tag, let's see what will happen. So after the H1 tag, let's use an H2 tag. Let's write about us. Let's save this, go back, refresh, and we have a heading 2 tag which is much smaller in size and is less bold too. Now the third tag that we'll use is H3, and inside we're going to write contact us. Save this, go back, refresh, and we have a more smaller line of text and less bold as well. So this was our heading 1 tag, heading 2 tag, and this was our heading 3 tag. So if I inspect element or view the source by pressing Ctrl plus U on Google Chrome, if I'm using Windows, I'll get to know the source of our HTML file. So this was our heading 1 tag, about us is our heading 2 tag, and contact us is our heading 3 tag. Now let's close this, and now let's inspect the element. Now if I hover over to this my website thing, you can see that it's a heading 1 tag, and that's why by default by Google Chrome the website is this heading 1 tag is much larger in size as compared to this heading 2 tag and heading 3 tag. So now as we use heading 4, heading 5, and heading 6 tag, the text will be much smaller as compared to heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3 tags. So basically the heading 1 tag is used for the main heading, the heading 2 tag, the heading 3 tag, and so on are used for the subheadings. So the heading 2 tag is used as a subheading for the main heading, the heading 3 tag is used for the subheading of the H1 tag, and so on. So for example, let's enter some text after every heading tag. So let's insert a paragraph tag, let's insert some lorem ipsum, and the good thing about lorem ipsum is that in brackets editor or in some other editors, for example Atom editor, if you write lorem and then press tab, you will get a quite good amount of lorem ipsum automatically. So let's copy it from here, paste it after our heading 2 tag and our heading 3 tag as well. Let's fix this. Now let's save this, go back, refresh. So we have our main heading, some text, our subheading, some text, and our subheading, you could say, of our about us heading. So this was the end of this lesson. We learned about heading tags, we learned about how many types of heading tags are present, and what are the functions of these heading tags. So stay tuned, stay focused, and let's move to our next lesson. Hello guys, welcome back, and in this lesson we're going to be learning about block codes. So let's navigate to our brackets editor, and over here we're going to get rid of this anchor tags and we're going to insert a block code tag. So a block code tag, close this, and inside this block code, for example, let's write a code. Let's consider this as a code that practice makes you perfect. So this is a code. We have a code, and if you save this, go back to our browser, refresh, we have a block code over here. And this block code, what this block code does is that it indents the text or line of text to the right side of the page, or gives a one finger line or two finger space between the border and the text of the page. So let's navigate back, and if we insert some inverted commas here and at the end of this text as well, save, go back, it will just simply insert some inverted commas. So basically the function of block code is just to give an indent, and you can style this block code as you wish. You can insert inverted commas and style those inverted commas, etc. So basically this was a quick short lesson on block code, and you will learn more as we move on with these lessons. So stay tuned, keep practicing, revise what we did before: anchor tags, how to link pages, how to use block codes, how to create heading tags, how many types of lists are there, how many types of heading tags are there. Stay tuned, keep practicing, and let's move to our next lesson. Hello guys, welcome back, and in this lesson we're going to be learning about anchor tags and what are their function and how do we use them to link one page to the other or one website to another website. So first let's get rid of this code inside our body tag, and over here we're going to create an h1 tag, and let's again write my website. And to create an anchor tag, we need to wrap this my website inside an anchor tag and close this anchor tag before our h1 tag but after our my website. So here's our anchor tag, but still we have one thing or one step left, and that is that giving our anchor tag an href or href, whatever you call it. Some programmers call it href and some call it href. So in my case I call it href, so we have to give it an href tag, open up double quotes, and over here we're going to link it with our page or website. So for example, I will be going to link it with my website, www.playdesk.com/ecampus. So now if I save this, go back to our index.html file, refresh this, I will get a heading 1 tag which is bold, which is much larger in font, and I've also given it the anchor tag with an href attribute, and because I've given it an anchor tag, it is underlined that it's showing it's a link. So if I click this, it will navigate me to my website. I can simply, after the href tag, press space, give it a target, and inside the double quotes I'm going to insert an underscore and blank. Now if I save this, go back, refresh, open it up, you'll notice that it opens up in a new tab. So this is what I want right now, so this is perfect. Now let's close this, navigate back to our code editor, And over here we learned how to link another website to your website. So now what if we need to link pages? So first I'm going to open up my root folder, and over here I'm going to create a new folder named e-learning. And in this e-learning folder I'm going to move my index.html file. Now here we have our e-learning folder, and in this folder we have our index.html file. Now let's close this, go to File, Open Folder, and over here we're going to select this folder. So now we have our e-learning folder, and inside this e-learning folder we have our index.html file. Now in this e-learning folder I'm going to create a new file, and this file will be about us. Let's save this, give it a name, about.html. Make sure it's dot. Save. Go back to our index.html, simply copy it from here and paste it in your about.html. And inside this index.html file, now what you need to do is give some space, create a paragraph tag, and write about us. Now we have to wrap this about us inside anchor tags and give these anchor tags an href or href. So I'm going to give it an href of about.html. Now if I save this, go back, refresh, it says your file was not found, or it may have been moved or deleted. So it's not deleted and it's not found. So basically this error is because we have moved our file. So we need to go back and open up index.html from here. Now we have our e-learning and then our index.html file. And over here we have our about us. Now if you click about us, it navigates us to our about.html. Now what if we need to create another folder inside this e-learning? So I'm going to go back to my folder, and inside e-learning I'm going to create a new folder, about, and move this about.html inside our about page. Minimize this, and it says external changes, about.html has been deleted on disk outside of brackets but has unsaved changes in brackets. So I'll say keep changes in brackets editor. I have about.html inside this. I'll close it from here. I'll delete it from here. So we have to navigate back here and then delete it from here. And now we have our about.html inside our about folder. And now if we go back to our index.html file, click about us, it will say your file was not found. But if we add another folder after e-learning, press enter, we will have our about us page over here. So to fix this, we have to go back to a brackets editor. Inside our index.html file, we need to say that our root directory, and then about, and then about.html. So these two periods and then a / means that it will look for the root directory, which is e-learning, and then it will look for the about folder inside e-learning, and then it will open up the about.html file. So this was the basics of anchor tags, how to link one page to the other, and how to link one website to another website using some basic steps. And one more thing that I want to teach you in this lesson is that how to get rid of the underline over here. Now if you want to get rid of the underline over here, you simply need to navigate to your brackets editor, and over here you need to give some style. Open double inverted commas, and give it a text decoration property, and give the text decoration property a value of none. Close it with a semicolon. Save this, go back to your website, refresh, and we have our my website without the underline over here. Similarly, it's the same case with the about us. If you want to remove the underline underneath the about us, you simply need to put a style attribute and give it a text decoration property and give it a value of none, and end it with a semicolon. So this was the end of this lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed learning anchor tags. So stay tuned, stay focused, and let's move to our next lesson. Hello guys, and welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to learn the necessity of div tags and why do we use them. So first of all, let's navigate to our brackets editor in which we have done all of our coding. So here's our brackets editor, and in this lesson I'm going to tell you how to insert div tags and why do we basically use div tags. So div tags will be created inside our body tag, and we will close this div tag right after our last image tag. You can also call them as a bucket, and this means that it covers all of our code such as these image tags and our block code tags. And we can use style.css to style these div tags, or in other words call these div tags, and as soon as we give some style to these div tags, it will be applicable to all of these tags present inside this bucket tag, or in other words our div tag. So let's navigate to our style.css file, and inside this file I'm going to call my div tag. I'm going to open up my curly braces, and inside this tag, for example, let's say I'm going to give it a margin left of 50 pixels. I'm going to save this. I'm also going to save the index.html file. Now I'm going to navigate back to my index.html file, refresh, and you notice that we have a margin of 50 pixels from the left. So what if I increase this margin in my style.css? For example, I change this to 400 pixels, or let's say change this to auto for now. Save this, go back, refresh. So it does not do anything. And what if I change this auto to 400 pixels over here? Save this, go back, refresh, and you can see that it has moved all my div tag, or in other words all the items present in my div tags, or all the tags present in my div tag, to the center of the screen, almost the center of the screen, or in other words 400 pixels to the right from the edge of this screen. So one more way to do this is, for example, if I don't have these div tags, let's get rid of this div tag, save this, go to our style.css, and over here instead of this div I'm going to call my paragraph tag, and I have my block code tag and my image tag. So I don't have my paragraph tag over here, I have my block code tag and my image tags. So let's save, go back, refresh. Now it's a little bit messed up over here, it's not in line, and so on. So this makes the page a little bit sloppy, and this is not a good practice, and that is why programmers use div tags instead of using these. So let's wrap this again inside a div, save this, wrap this inside a div too, save this, and now once we refresh we get 400 pixels margin from the left. So this is why we use div tags. It's just that we can move the items or other tags present inside the bucket tag, or in other words div tag, wherever we want on our web page. Now one more thing is that we can style this div tag too. For example, if I need to give my div container or my bucket a color, I can go back to my brackets editor, and over here I can give it a color of, let's say, red. I'll save, go back, refresh, and nothing happens. It's perfect because I have to write over here background color. Now if I save, go back, refresh, we have a background color of red, and we have our div moved to the right side because we inserted the property of margin left and we inserted the value of 400 pixels. We can also make text align to center, refresh, and now we have all our images to the center of our div tag. So this was the end of this lesson. We learned that why are div tags used, and we learned why most programmers use div tags instead of separate tags and calling separate tags in style.css. So stay tuned, keep practicing. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the discussions tab.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, do give us a thumbs up and share it. Also check out amazing discounts and offers on our premium courses in the description below.